Hey everyone, another video talking about some more subjects, well, a subject I should say, about another trading card game. Well, one of the big three I'd have to say. It's Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Obviously, it's Yu-Gi-Oh. And, I just want to talk about a certain little card, a little mechanic that hasn't really been touched on in a while. You know Rituals, right? Rituals, that blue card? No. This blue card. Yeah, that's right. Before Link cards, came out, the original blue card we had for Yu-Gi-Oh was the Ritual card. And even though they weren't anything to go crazy for, it still had some charm to it, right? Especially since most monsters we see in the anime, like the Cyber Angels from GX and Blackluster Soldier from Duel Monsters, those monsters are unique only to the main characters. Yeah, they were actually made into Ritual cards IRL. However, again, they weren't anything special, as in the beginning the Ritual cards were exactly that, a ritual. In order to summon them, you needed to do a step similar to using a simple spell card, like how polymerization was used for fusion cards, before the paragraphs attacked the cards and evolved into this. However, for rituals, you needed a specified spell card to summon the ritual monster, along with monsters that had levels that could add up to the ritual monster's level, or they could even go over the required limit, unlike some other level adding extra card. Also, back then, most ritual monsters didn't even get an effect. It was just there. Not only that, some of them would have very poor stats. The idea of it sounds pretty neat in the long run though, for gameplay standards, but it would be pretty bad if your monster was stuck from being summoned because you couldn't get the spell card you needed and enough monsters to sacrifice in order to even do the ritual summon. And not only that, it could be the entire way around, where you have the spell card and the monsters, but not being able to draw your ritual monster, because that's right folks, even though it's blue, like the Link cards, and not like the other normal cards that are in a deck, it's a card that's supposed to be in the main deck. And you have to get it from there with pure luck. Pure luck. Do you understand that? Not to mention that some of the ritual cards didn't even come with effects. They were just there sitting pretty and looking good with their Tims on, eating a glizzy as they laugh at you for even summoning it out. At least some of them were worth summoning, since they were given high attack powers. These cards knew their worth, they priced themselves for a pretty penny, which is fair. Pretty much rituals sometimes come to a 50-50, especially back in the day. Someone like me was only, able to summon out something like a piece of meat taken from a monster's ass that got slapped on a bun, or some chick who stepped outside one day and found a couple blades. I was a kid with not a lot of money, and I had to make do. Give me a break, it's only fair. I had to summon these out. Of course, now with modern decks that still interpret the ritual mechanic, like Vendreads and others, it's not really a problem, but back then you just had to get lucky. Like, do you understand how much I went through when I was younger just so I could summon out a fucking burger to my side of the field? Do you understand the pain of summoning out a burger against your opponent when they're just sitting there with the blue eyes? The whole reason I want to talk about this is because I was able to get some of my old cards I had growing up, and was going through them. And all I found was a bunch of random cards, and on the back of them was some ritual cards, because of course I had some. With, seeing that, I thought I'd shed some light on it, because it's a mechanic that isn't really seen as much anymore. That and because I need more content. The ritual archetype is something I wanted to get into, mostly because after my time with the burger scene, I actually made the Gishki deck back when I was a freshman in high school, and I actually remembered liking the deck. Probably because it actually had stuff to help me summon the monsters, or because I started liking Merfolk for some reason when I switched over to Magic. I don't know. The mechanic in whole is a very interesting thing for a card game, and I wish they'd make more cards for it. Probably enough to be somewhat meta, to see more results with, but also enough to see some casual play. I mean, as far as I remember, I don't think Vendreads were really top of the tier list, and I don't remember Salamangreat having a ritual card that did a lot. I think there was only one that was really good for the Salamangreat deck, but I'm not really sure because I'm not watching meta. I don't do that. I just like playing card games. As for new cards, the only new ritual cards I've seen are Cyberus, Magician, and Paladin Photon Dragon, but that's because I just got back into Yu-Gi-Oh after a long break and haven't really brought any of the newer packs home to open them up. Either way, to sum it up, I like the idea of ritual cards, and it's a cool mechanic, but nothing will ever make me forget the struggles of what the newer generation will never have to deal with involving ritual summoning like I did, just to say that I summoned a damn Krabby Patty to my side of the field.